Hello, YouTube. In the spring of 1991, gradually deteriorating inter-ethnic relations in Croatia resulted in clashes with the use of weapons. On June 25, 1991, the parliaments of Slovenia and Croatia declared independence, which led to the deployment of the Belgrade-controlled Yugoslav army towards affected borders and airports. In July of 1991, units of the Yugoslav People's Army, which at that time consisted mainly of Serbs because the Croatians deserted, and Serbian militia units launched Operation Bereg 91, during which, after a short period of time, they controlled about 30% of the territory of Croatia. The Croatian forces, consisting of local policemen and soldiers of the Croatian National Guard, could not offer serious resistance to the Serbs. They lacked weapons. Because in 1990, the Serbian authorities prudently seized weapons from local warehouses, transferring them to the well-guarded army bases. Naturally, in several cities of Croatia, local craftsmen tried to establish the production of submachine guns, firing with an open bolt, as the most affordable for production in artisanal conditions. Let me step back a few years. The 1987 Summer Universiad, also known as the 14th Summer Universiad, meaning World University Games, multi-sports event, took place in Zagreb, Croatia, at that time part of the socialist Yugoslavia. The mascot of the 1987 Summer Universiad is a squirrel named Zagi, and created by Nedeljko Dragicic. This animal is a resident of Zagreb's parks, amiable and always in a good mood. Its nonchalance and joviality are but a cover for diligence, always on the move and reaching for the seemingly impossible. The squirrel embodies the dynamism of athletic endeavor. Well, the name was just right for the weapon that was created years later. At the time of the launch of that submachine gun named after Zagi, there was no weapon productions in the new state of Croatia. Apparently not at all. And it was needed urgently and of its own accord. Although the embargo imposed on Croatia could be circumvented, for example, Argentina supplied weapons. It was slow and the volumes were still not the same. Immediately after outbreak of the Balkan War, production was launched in Zagreb by Prva Hrvatska Tvornica Oružja, the first Croatian weapons factory. And I apologize for the pronunciation. Mine is more like a Russian-Ukrainian, and this is Croatian, but Slavic languages. So it was located on the territory of the Likavel tool factory, founded in 1989. Finally, it went bankrupt in the year 2000. According to Dražen Putec, son of the founder of Likavel, in an interview with the Index publication Croatia in the year 2007. See, they made a prototype of the Zagi machine gun, and when production began, the army mobilized the company. They did everything for the Ministry of Defense, working during the embargo and during the war. The fact that the weapon was tested by firing on the Sava embankment testifies to how and under what conditions it was done then. In 1996, they stopped producing weapons because the Ministry of Defense did not want to pay for weapons that had already been made. The company went bankrupt because they could not even pay the security guard. He had no means of livelihood, that's the son of the owner, and he couldn't keep his guns anymore. So he sold 3,500 square meters on Bednjanskaya Street, where the factory used to be, in order to pay off debts. And in 1999, the Ministry of Internal Affairs banned them from producing weapons and ammunition. Although since 1996, they had no weapons or ammunition at all. He handed over everything he had to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and he suspects that these weapons ended up on the black market. My information comes mainly from the Russian and Bulgarian sources. So what's out in the open sources is what I present. The submachine gun became one of the most massive submachine guns that were produced in Croatian garage, so to say, by local craftsmen. There was even a version for installing a silencer. According to experts and to the Russians, about 5,000 units were produced. Structurally, Zagi, designed by Mirko Vugrek, was extremely simple. A classic cheap submachine gun with a receiver made from a piece of pipe chambered for 9 by 19. The trigger mechanism case was welded to it from below. Trigger mechanism itself did not have a fuse, and the transfer select fire switch immediately reminds of Sten, as well as the safety cutout for the bolt handle. The basic design and caliber of the Zagi M91 is really like the World War II era British Sten. The barrel had the same fit as the Sten MK2 and was interchangeable with it. The 2-row 32-round magazine with a single-row outlet is very similar to the German ones. Starting with the MP28, they were also used on the MP38 and MP40, although it doesn't copy them completely. So, according again to the Russians, the weapon used MP40 magazines. With a barrel length of 220 millimeters, the Zagi weighed 3.4 kilograms empty. Guides for a purely symbolic stock were provided on the rear cover of the receiver. The tubular casing of the barrel went well beyond its muzzle. Sighting devices on parts of the released submachine guns were absent as a class. Sometimes a primitive, unregulated rear sight and front sight were installed. The barrel casing was often replaced with an integrated silencer. There are a number of such samples. Almost simultaneously, production was launched in Bosnia. However, since there was no plastic casing equipment there, the Bosnian Zagi made do with wood. Here, mind you, the barrel was longer than on the original. There are also simplified versions without a fire selector switch and with a folding wire buttstock instead of a telescopic one. Opinions about the quality of this submachine gun are diametrically opposed. Some claim that it was reliable and well made, while others claim that its production was curtailed the following year, not what we were told before, due to the problems with this very quality. However, since it is known from the interview that they refused to pay for it, meaning the production owner was refused to get paid, and this ruined the manufacturer, the termination of production was due to completely different reasons. So who do you believe? By the way, the equipment exported from the enterprise, so to say, had disappeared altogether. This is the second mention of this. However, the story doesn't end there. The submachine guns were produced by others for the black market. In the weapon, for example, seized by police in the UK, one can see familiar plastic, right? However, without the inscription Zagi M91, but with the brand Intratec in place. Another pseudo Intratec, and then micro Zagis. The silencer was supplied to them as a standard, so to speak. The tilt of the receiver is also interesting there, which was not in the original. In 1992, the submachine guns, which had already been decommissioned, were supplied to the Bosnians and took part in the local war. In general, Zagi lived much longer among the criminals than in the armed forces. And as the Russians say, even for the official Croatian arms industry, this was generally typical until the early 2000s. But Zagi was used by criminals in Bulgaria too, according to police reports, and undoubtedly, I have no doubts, in other East European countries. And some have been for sale in Russia too. In the next videos, I'll talk about Serbian submachine guns. Thank you for your attention to my work. I'll try to bring you more interesting details about weapons produced in the Balkan wars, as well as other parts of Eastern Europe, handguns, submachine guns, machine guns, and so forth. Thank you for your attention to my work. If you can support me, you'll find links on how to do it in description to this video. Please like my videos.